are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone. I hope you guys are all having a good day so far. Just quickly, I wanted to say thank you for joining us today for our webinar Inbox 25's Introduction to Site Monitor. My name is Michael Hubbard, and I'm a customer happiness guru here at Inbox 25. So today we'll be covering our Site Monitor, which is our website visitor tracking platform. Specifically, we're going to look into how website visitor tracking works and how it can fit into your marketing program in conjunction with your marketing automation. First, just some general housekeeping. If you have any questions during the course of the webinar, feel free to enter them in the question dialog window. I will be taking some questions live at the end of the presentation and demo. Just a reminder, I am flying solo on this webinar, so any questions I do not get to, me or someone else on the Inbox team will follow up immediately with you. I imagine that a bunch of your questions will probably be back end stuff. So if I am not able to answer them, I'm going to pass them on to our co-founder and CTO, Kevin Lowry. Just a general reminder to follow us on Twitter at Inbox25. And tomorrow our webinar training series continues with nurturing drip and workflow for Inbox 25 4.0. And this focuses on auto campaigns. So if you're not signed up for that yet, I would highly suggest that. That's probably the most powerful new feature of our platform. And a reminder that this and all of our other webinars over the next 2 weeks will be recorded and available on our blog and our website. Just go to the support page on inbox25.com. Okay, so let's move into the agenda for today. Here's what we're going to be covering. So before I take you how to successfully set up Site Monitor for your website domain, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time reviewing what exactly Site Monitor is and how it fits big picture with Inbox 25 4.0. So the basics. First, what is Site Monitor? The second is how Site Monitor works. The third is the difference between a known visitor and an unknown visitor. The fourth is reporting for Site Monitor. And then finally, as I said, I am going to run you through a demo of how you add a domain to Site Monitor, which is very, very easy, as you'll see. So first up, what exactly is Site Monitor? Site Monitor is our web tracking visitor engine. It works by installing a small snippet of JavaScript code on each one of your web pages, and this issues a visitor a unique cookie which tracks their behavior on your site. So once the code is installed and the status is tracking, you can sit back and let Site Monitor record all of your site's visitor behavior. We've also built in custom privacy controls, and I will touch on that a lot more later. So unlike typical web analytics, which mainly focus on overall site performance, our Site Monitor focuses solely on the individual visitor. So while it's vital to know how specific pages perform on your site and to know how these pages impact sales opportunities, Site Monitor mainly concentrates on providing intelligence on how certain visitors interact with your site. So that means tracking with these pages. They track your visitor views, how long they viewed them, how they arrived on your site, if they arrived via search engine, or if they entered a keyword, how did they find you? And also if they're a new visitor or have they been to your site before. Now, the status sounds great, I agree, but it's only valuable if you have a way to make it actionable. So this is where it ties into our automated campaign and lead scoring, which again, we have webinars coming Wednesday and Thursday. Definitely sign up for those. So for example, you can trigger a drip campaign when a known visitor visits a priority product page on your site, or you can alert a sales agent that a lead is browsing your pricing page. Or you can add points to their score when they visit these pricing pages. And again, with our new SimSync, this all happens in real time. So next, just move on to how Site Monitor works. So as I said before, it starts by adding your domain to Site Monitor and grabbing the unique tracking code that we automatically generate for you. And this takes a matter of seconds. You don't have to wait on this at all, which you'll see later. So you need to take this code that we provide you and add it to every page on your website above the closing body tag. So this task is probably best handled by your webmaster or someone on your IT staff. We can definitely provide more insight and assistance if need be. Maybe if your CTO is off or you act as your CTO, which is very common these days. Just open a ticket on support.inbox25.com and we can walk you through everything you have to do. So once you install this tracking code into your website, you'll likely immediately notice that unknown visitors are appearing on your visitor report. So obviously the next step is to try and identify these visitors. And you want to turn them into known visitors, is pretty much the point. So that means we have a record assigned to the visitor in either a marketing list or a CRM list. And a known visitor can be a new lead contact or an existing lead or contact. So there are two ways to identify a known visitor that was once an unknown visitor. An unknown visitor can convert on a landing page, at which point we'll issue a cookie that links their sessions on your site to their record in your account. So again, this works in conjunction with CRM lists and marketing lists. The second would be a click-through on an email campaign sent to your contacts. This will also issue a cookie that will link their sessions onto your website and once again record right to their account. So if you have an existing list with your Inbox 25 account, you can send an email campaign to your list and include one or two, at least one URL back to your website. And any record that clicks the website from your campaign will now be identified on your website. So now I just want to get into a little bit more of an unknown visitor versus a known visitor. So an unknown visitor is a site visitor that we're tracking that we do not have an assigned record contained in your marketing list or CRM list. But once an unknown visitor becomes identified, then we will automatically assign their past behavior that was tracked when they're unknown. And known visitors. So a known visitor is a site visitor that we are able to identify either through an email campaign click-through or they either converted on one of your landing pages, which we just found out. So once an unknown visitor is identified and linked to a record in your marketing list or your CRM list with Inbox 25, the website activity can be leveraged for automated campaigns and lead scoring through scoreboards. So before I touched on privacy settings, or at least mentioned that we offer privacy settings with our site monitor. So if you're concerned with your prospect's privacy and you'd like to request their consent prior to issuing the tracking cookie, you can enable privacy controls. So these request their visitor's consent before you issue the cookie. So this is a requirement for most of our or all of our friends that operate websites in the EU, which is a large part of our client base. So we want to cater to them and also allow anyone not in the EU to issue a privacy preference, which I'm sure a lot of your targets and visitors would appreciate. So if you do choose to enable the privacy pop-up, we allow you to personalize the content message that will appear on your site visitors. Pretty simple, as you can see on the slide here, very straightforward. Just a simple checkbox, and then you enter your customized message. So if they accept or grant consent to you, then we will issue the cookie. If they don't provide consent, we don't issue the cookie. So they're not being tracked, but they can continue browsing your website, no problem. And maybe if they see something they like, next time they come, they will allow you to issue the cookie because they want to be marketed to by you. So next I'm going to touch on some reporting for Site Monitor. The reporting is split into two distinct pages or two distinct reports. We have a page view report and a visitor report. These reports are updated in real time so that you have the absolute latest intelligence available. This is consistent with everything in our platform through our new SimSync module. So everything takes a matter of seconds to flow back and forth. As these known and unknown visitors are visiting your website, within 5 seconds, you can see this will be recorded to their timeline report, and you can see exactly what they're doing. It's almost like you're following them as they're on your site. So you can also check out the live activity stream on your dashboard on inbox25.com, and you can see the known site visitors as they arrive on your site. So now let's take a look at the two specific reports and see how they are similar and see how they're different. So your page view report shows your visitor traffic of every individual page in your domain name, which you installed the tracking code. In the top console, you'll see known and unknown visitors, the average page views per visitor, and the average duration of every visitor's visit. And then on the furthest right, you will see the top referrer for your site. If you focus below, you'll see a list of pages viewed. So use the drop-down menus in the second row to filter them by type of visitor, duration of the visit, number of views, and recency of visits. You can also sort by only known contacts who recently visited your website by clicking View Contacts below the number that corresponds to the number of identified records that visit your page. So let's focus on your visitor report now. Your visitor report breaks down the information on your known and unknown website visitor to the individual visitor level. So that's what we're trying to do here with our site monitor, break everything down to an individual basis. So if an unknown user is accessing your website from a company-specific IP, we will tell you the company that the visitor is from, as well as the location, which is city, state, and country. Um, Again, this is much different than typical web analytics that you may be used to, because we are absolutely zeroing in on specific visitor, and then from there, we're digging in deeper. So for each visitor, you can view the date and time of the visit, their pages visited, the duration of their stay on each of your pages on your website, and again, you can view the referring source, whether it's Google or a keyword that they may have entered. So for each visitor, you can one of the really cool parts is that when you click the individual visitor's name, it takes you right to their timeline report. So this is brand new with Inbox 25 4.0. Every contact, lead, target within Sugar CRM, as well as marketing lists, have their own timeline report. So this is a really big part of our platform's advantage, I would say. Our timeline report ties everything together for every contact on your CRM or marketing list, and this is in one place. So your timeline report is collapsible and is in completely chronological view, and it covers every single action that a user will have with their company. We don't just target big actions. So if an unknown visitor filled out a landing page, it would show you they filled out the landing page. It would show that maybe after that they went to your site. It would show that they clicked on links in your email, literally everything. We don't skip anything. So you may have noticed that the last two slides share some similarities, mainly in the top dashboard for the visit reports. Since these two statistics are closely intertwined, page views and visit pages have similar dashboards. This dashboard allows you to segment your reports by the same operators. So you can choose whether you want to see only known user activity versus unknown user activity. And then you have the option to create reports that specify minimum visit duration or pages viewed. And again, you can always print these reports out so you can have them palpable and in front of you. So finally, you can choose to see today's activity, activity since yesterday, last 7 days activity, or last 30 days activity, as well as last 60 days activity. And that is done on the furthest right above referred by, the little drop down that says last 30 days activity. That was where you would segment this, segment the duration of how long you want to check these for. So now I just want to talk very briefly about how Site Monitor fits into the rest of the Inbox 25 platform and see how it interacts with many of the different features that we have. Again, these all have webinars, or we've had a couple webinars within the last week, so check these out. They're recorded on the website, and definitely sign up for the upcoming ones. So very quickly, how does Site Monitor tie into automated campaigns? Now, I mentioned this very briefly before, but activity recorded by Site Monitor can trigger actions within an automated campaign or send users down new nurturing paths based off their interaction history with your site. So say you have a lead that you've identified as cold, and all of a sudden they're spending 10 minutes on your pricing page. That probably means that you would want them to become a hot lead. And if you use our smart campaigns within our automated campaigns, this would automatically, like activity like this would automatically transfer them to a maybe a sales ready stage, and you can alert the assigned sales rep, and he can have a phone call with them as they're on your pricing page. Again, that's a huge advantage of SimSync. The data traveling back and forth takes usually under 5 seconds. Scorecards. This kind of relates to automated campaigns, but Site Monitor ties into scorecards. Activity recorded by Site Monitor can be used to add or subtract points from a target's lead score. So if a target spends, again, this is completely customizable and up to you. If a target spends more than 5 minutes on your page, you may want to add, 5 or 10 points to their lead score. And maybe if a lead visits your career page as opposed to pricing page, features page, you may want to actually subtract points from them. Maybe they're looking for a job and they're not a lead that you want your sales reps calling, because it, again, would be a waste of their time. So this is all preset by you and then completely automated, so you never have to touch it again. And finally, landing pages. So ultimately, you want less unknown visitors and more identified visitors that you can market to. I think we can all agree on that. So direct unknown visitors to your attractive landing pages with your enticing CTAs. So what are you offering them in exchange for their information? Keep in mind that most of the data about your prospects will come in from your website. So Site Monitor is really important to move your marketing forward. It's not just a passive analytics tool, but a source of leads and a great source for qualifying lead behavior. So what Site Monitor really does, it optimizes your homepage into a lead source, which is what you're trying to do anyway with your website. Obviously, landing pages are more targeted to specific segments, but with Site Monitor, you can really get the most out of your website, I would say. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the basics. Again, if you guys have questions, please type them in, and I'm going to get to them at the end. But now for the most important part, and as I told you guys, this is very easy, but I do want to briefly show you how you would add a domain to be tracked by our Site Monitor. So once you're signed into your Inbox 25 instance, and you go up to the reports console, you can see all the reports are available here. We're going to click Site Monitor, and it would bring us to this page right here. So this would list all of the domains that you may be tracking. Here you can obviously click Get the Code. That's once you enter your tracking domain, it has your custom code, so you can grab it and put it on all the pages in your website. Under Status, that just alerts you and lets you know that Site Monitor is tracking, and it lets you know how long. If something is wrong with the network, maybe your network, we would let you know that the status is not tracking, and we can work with you right away to get that. But we haven't had zero problems with that so far. So I don't anticipate any, but you never know what can happen. Again, privacy. If on this account it is enabled, you can preview the alert, which is just the short message that we have asking the viewer for their cookies. And then here are the two reports pages, page view right here, and the visits right here. If you click them, that will take you to the page view and visits report, which I showed you on slides very briefly before. So, as I said, let's look in how easy tracking a new domain would be. Okay, let me just reload this. Sorry about that, guys. Must have timed out, but there you go. So this is how you would get to it. Maybe this is beneficial to see. So you go to Reports again, Site Monitor, and it will bring you to this page. So if I wanted to track another domain, it would pop up here. I believe this was shown on the slides, but I'm just going to run through it really quickly. So just enter your URL of your homepage. You remember, you do not have to enter all the different pages within your website. You don't have to enter your price page. Again, you just add this code that we give you once you enter this to the closing body tag on all those pages. And then I will enable a privacy pop-up for this. And then you just come down here, delete the text, and enter whatever message you want to have. So if you choose to enable the privacy pop-up, just give a very short and sweet personalization. Definitely don't, nothing too paragraphy here. Short, sweet, to the point, asking consent for their cookies. That's all you want to say. And then you'd click Continue. And then the code would be available right here. That was shown in the slide before. You would just copy and paste that, give it to your CTO, and have him paste that into each of your pages. And again, if you guys do have problems with this, please do not hesitate to ask. Our help desk is great. I am always on our help desk and willing to call and walk you through this, or we can set up a private GoToMeeting, and I can show you exactly how to do this so we can get this up and running as quickly as possible. So that was a pretty short and sweet webinar. Definitely not as in-depth as many of our other webinars that are covering. I'm just going to see if there are any questions coming in live. Okay, so here we have one. The question is, can we identify a visitor from any landing page, or does it specifically have to be set up for that? And the answer for this is no. It can be any of your landing pages set up with Inbox 25. I don't know if you guys, some of you may have missed our landing page webinar, which was last week. You can create unlimited landing pages with Inbox 25, so that is not a problem either. And that webinar is up and recorded on our website. I suggest you check that out because specifically Site Monitor and landing pages are really, really tied into each other. Okay, question number 2. Can we track the visitor outside of our website, or is it only our website? The answer is it is only your website, because that's where the custom JavaScript code snippet is running. So this will work on only your domain. Nothing, you can't track, what people do on your Facebook pages or random like that. I know that's a big question we get, but no, do not have the capabilities to do that here. Um, Another question: is there any sensitive information gathered about our visitors by this cookie? Um, the answer is absolutely not. We only track them by their unique ID that is contained in your record. So this is inside your Inbox 25 account. So the only information that we gather is exactly what you see inside the reports. That is everything. Can I get email? Can I get an email when a certain lead is on my website? Yes, absolutely. This is the point of our SimSync, pretty much that gives you a real-time view of everything, and this includes reporting in real time, which is very beneficial to your sales team specifically. Um, so yes, absolutely. This would be managed by our automated campaign platform, which we have our webinar on tomorrow, and specifically using the website activity as a condition, and you can send an alert to a follow-up action. So something like a known lead spends 10 minutes on my page. I want to automatically alert a sales agent to to set up a call. That flow and can be completely handled by our automated campaign. You would set that up, and it would work automatically. Um, 5. How long do you save unknown visitor data? So currently, with our module right now, we save unknown visitor data for up to 60 days. And if we can identify the visitor within that time frame, it is purged. And known visitor data is stored indefinitely. And you can print these reports out. So if it's a known visitor, or you just want to see your known visitors, in response to your website, you can actually print out a report that would go directly to a CSV file of everything, of every like website visitor tracking that you have for your known contacts, and you can print that out and have it in front of you. So that is basically it for today. Tried to keep that pretty short and sweet for you guys. It's pretty straightforward how Site Monitor works. Again, you guys might have some back end questions. I'm sure your CTOs may have some complex questions about the code, maybe what they can do with it or to further it in any way. And again, please submit your questions, and I will record these down. And anything I can't answer, I will have Kevin Lowry, our CTO, answer you guys as soon as possible with an email response. So I have all your emails already, not a problem. If anyone on your team may have missed this, or you guys were busy during this, we are doing this again at 2. But if not, don't worry, all of these will be recorded live. And again, you can find those on our website, and check out our Twitter. We also tweet out a bunch of great content every week, not only about our webinars, but also about some of our technology partners, which you guys might be interested in. So thanks a lot for attending this webinar. I hope you guys have a great day, and I look forward to helping you with any problems you might have in the upcoming weeks. So have a great day, guys. Thanks a lot.